right, so if you don't know, this is the NASCAR Chat Series All-Star Open. Tomorrow's field of 16 chatters needed 4 more, so it's a field of NASCAR legends to take to North Wilkesboro here today. And you'll see what I mean here, by the way. We didn't get the green. And if we didn't have do not count caution laps on, this race would indeed start on lap 2. It'd be a 99 lap All-Star Open. It's counted for the moment. It'll recorrect once we take the green flag. The old-timer Harry Gant and the Skull Bandit, 1 pole and a tie with Rusty Wallace. Top 6 were really close in speed. His car will come down pit road, and we will get this thing started. Will we have trouble? Who the hell knows? The All-Star Open is green. Rusty Wallace with a good start on the high side has immediately passed Harry Gant. Not yet clear. 33 Skull Bandit trying to fight back once. Will clear the 33 for the moment. Gant dives back in. And you'll see those cars really all throughout this race and tomorrow's All-Star race. The ones that choose to take the bottom line do like to get loose out of the corner. Pole sitter is held serve, if you will, off the start of this race. And leads as the 8 car, Dale Jr., way sideways out of turn. Oh yeah, Keselowski bricked all right. I believe he started 9th. And now sits 14th. So before we get too deep into this race, let's go through the field. I know we did this in qualifying, but we're going to let you meet everybody here. In the back of the field, number 1, Donnie Allison. Bush, 2004 NASCAR champion. In the car he won that championship with. The Sharpie, number 97. Darrell Waltrip, Jaws. And the number 11 Mountain Dew car, 2003 champion Matt Kenseth, Alan Kulwicki, number 7, Brad Keselowski, 2012 champ, and the Blue Deuce, Tony Stewart, 2002 NASCAR champion in the scheme that he won that year. Davey Allison, on too soon in the Haviland number 28. Bobby Allison, rather, in front of him. 3 Allisons in the field. Bobby racing in 11th. Another man gone too soon. Tim Richmond sitting 9th for the moment. Kevin Harvick, that early stages, that rookie year scheme. Of course, everyone remembers his big time Atlanta. We'll get to the audio in a second. It's at the same level as we usually are at. Close quarters here in North Wilkesboro. Bobby Allison has moved up to 9th. Bobby Labonte in the 18. NASCAR Chat Series regular. He's in there. Ricky Rudd in the Tide Ride. Terry Labonte in the 5 Kellogg's car. Famous scheme, of course. Dale Jarrett. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Martin Truex Jr. Rusty Wallace and your current leader, Harry Gant. Up at the front of the field. So audio levels adjusted. Hopefully that'll be fine from this point forward. We'll have to remember that for the races at places like Bristol, I know we go to. I don't remember if we had a race at Martinsville or not. I don't know if I found Martinsville all that interesting for the AI. We are already 10 laps into the All-Star Open as we went through the field there. Have a quick pace to this race, as we'd expect. Top 4 cars will advance to tomorrow night's All-Star race. That was intended to be chat only. But as much as I do love the SDK Gaming ticker that we use for these, that 2020-ish NASCAR scoring pylon, for whatever reason, with only 16 cars on track, it broke. So I figured we'd do this race, have some fun, watch some legends go around a legendary NASCAR track in its own right, and see what happens here today. So in these 100 laps, I mean, we're going to get a good idea of just how long a fuel run is for tomorrow's 250 lap race. So we'll at least be out of the dark when it comes to that. If it's over 100 laps, I mean, who knows? I wouldn't think that the fuel is the biggest issue. I would think definitely more tires on this rough, torn up, not really torn up here in the game, but rough surface. That's true. 75 laps? That's possible. Yeah, if a scheme is within my, you know, design capabilities, I'll do my best to actually make it. It's usually like the more modern schemes that I struggle with, because I have just, I mean, in all sorts of NASCAR games grown up, like pretty much remaking like some older style schemes. So when you get into some really more modern stuff with the wraps instead of the paint, they're kind of tough to do for somebody that makes most of their graphics in Adobe Express. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one came along nicely today. Here again, leads by a second and a half over Rusty Wallace here on lap 18 in an incident-free All-Star Open here off the start. Let's head back, check on Rusty Wallace. He doesn't have too much pressure. Martin Truex Jr. in behind, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. still lurking relatively close. Dale Jarrett, the 88, off in the distance. Half tempted to ask for a caution. Well, you see, there will be no goofy cautions here today, so don't try and redeem those, by the way. Those will be refunded. Tomorrow, though, they'll be infinitely cheaper and probably a whole lot more chaotic, so we'll see how that goes. In an all-star race format for tomorrow that is really just a conglomeration of all-star gimmicks from the past. Dale Jarrett trying to hold off Terry Labonte. Labonte loose out of turn 4. Here again, continues to stretch the lead, lap 22. I mean, if you really redeem it after that, I almost shouldn't refund it. God damn it. I forgot I already dropped the price. No, there will be no debris caution. There are no Busch Light cans out there on the track. I forgot I had already dropped the price on those, but there wasn't a race in between when I let everyone know about that and here today. Harry Gant stretching this lead, but with tires, I do believe a concern. Is this a bad idea for Gant? So we're about to take the quarter-way mark for Harry Gant. Let's take a look at the last lap times. Everybody on track is in the 19-second range. And I mean, you look at Gant, 1931 last time. Last place, Donnie Allison, 19.4. Odd. And the best time for everybody, at least towards the top half of the field, is in the 18-second range. No lap slower, actually, than Kevin Harvick's best lap. 19.22. So, we continue. Harry Gant still breaking away here. Well, I don't know what happened to Rusty Wallace, actually. He dropped off the time that we were rambling, just kind of taking a look at things. Dropped off, it felt like almost a second to Harry Gant. So, you wonder, some tire wear occurring. And Donnie Allison, actually, by the way, sitting in last place here in the number 1 car, is 14 seconds off the lead, which means he's going to be in a threat of going a lap down here, you would think fairly soon, unless he can pick up the pace. Well, it's actually baseball first, then hockey. Oh, wait, no, I lied. The race is first tomorrow. All-Star race, Tigers, hockey. That's the order for tomorrow. Well, I don't know what Harry Gant's doing right, but he stretched that lead out for about 3 seconds now. Martin Truex Jr. nearing 4 seconds off the lead. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the number 8, almost 5 seconds off. And Donnie Allison back at the tail of the field, now 15 seconds back. Well, I guess we watch Harry Gant and wait for the first lap traffic to potentially slow him down. I mean, I could say, really 2 through 7 is fairly close. 2 through 7 separated by roundabout 3 seconds. So Gant trying to get through that lap traffic could certainly throw a wrench into that, as Rusty Wallace still hanging on just inside of 3 seconds back. Brad Keselowski did make a pass up to 13th, that on Alan Kulwicki in the Hooters car. And a reminder for the moment that, again, the top 4 cars advance to tomorrow. So for this current moment in time, it would be Gant, Rusty Wallace, Martin Truex Jr., and Dale Earnhardt Jr., who has been in every NASCAR Chat Series race thus far. Why not tomorrow? The lead that Harry Gant was growing has, well, plateaued for the moment as soon as we switch back to our leader. Rusty Wallace did kind of fall back just above 3 seconds back. Race on lap 36 of the All-Star Open. I will say I was a bit surprised in the setup phase for this when I realized that a modern North Wilkesboro was not yet in iRacing. On board with your leader, about a straightaway in between him and lap traffic. Donnie Allison now 16 seconds off the lead. As again, we remain incident free. But, faster cars trying to get through slower cars, not going to work out very well. The top 10 inside of 10 seconds. 11 through 20, they're not. Nearing the halfway point of the All-Star Open. Take a look at everybody's last lap time. Definitely some fall-off occurring. Maybe not so much for our leader, Harry Gant. 19.28 is certainly not a bad lap time at this stage. A lot of other cars, even 6th place, Dale Jarrett, 19.6 last time by. So the longer this stays green, I would not be surprised to see those lap times potentially dip into the 20s. 17th place, Joey Logano just ran a 19.8. Not exactly what you're after. And still closing in, now about half a straightaway behind the back of the pack, and still over half of this All-Star Open left to go. Certainly a chance for something to go wrong. And Gant, I do believe, is going to have to change his line just, ever so slightly, and he kind of already has. He started to run that middle lane just a little bit, as the lead is now stretched almost 4 seconds over Rusty Wallace. But he's certainly not on the bottom of the racetrack anymore. He's certainly moved up at least on entry, really high entry, drops it down to that middle lane. Left side tires just right over the white line for the bottom lane. Donnie Allison is certainly going to go a lap down here unless something happens. But good for Harry Gant that he's already kind of running the way that he needs to go anyway. And I mean, the back of the field is really quite stacked up, it looked there for a moment. I mean, he's got to go through Donnie Allison, Kurt Busch, Darrell Waltrip, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, just right like that. So that is definitely gonna slow our leader down. Well, and so I'm glad we get to talk about a little bit the need for action for especially tomorrow's All-Star race. This is one thing. This is just, you know, setting the field, setting the 4 cars that are going to make it into the field for tomorrow. But the need for just absolute chaos and gimmicks and everything like that is to, I mean, it's artificial entertainment, just like IRL NASCAR is, especially when it comes to the All-Star race. So keep things this interesting the best that we can. I have not mentioned it during this All-Star Open if you forgot about it. There will be stages tomorrow, 3 of them. 10-minute qualifying session, of course, 250 laps in total. At the end of stage 1, a full field inversion will happen. You win stage 1, you start at the back for stage 2. So qualifying in stage 1, really not all that important. At the end of stage 2, which ends at lap 145, positions 16 through 20 will get sent to the pit lane, eliminated from tomorrow's All-Star race. Now, in theory, 4 of those cars should be the NASCAR Legends. But we'll see if that is the case. The Legends, when it comes to tomorrow's All-Star race, will have lower skills than the chat cars. So there's that to keep in mind. Stage 3 is more or less normal. About 100 laps in a race to the finish. And then, of course, the 4 chat cautions up from the 2 that we usually have. Redeemed in channel rewards for 250 points, which is a big drop-off from where they usually are. And then I get the very controversial promoter's caution. Used in this year's All-Star race, or at least it will be. Both, or actually all of the 4 chat cautions, if they are to be used, and my promoter's caution, have to be redeemed before lap 220 tomorrow night. It is a 5-second lead just past the halfway mark for Harry Gant. Still just kind of catching up to this lap traffic, but honestly just kind of chilling. And yeah, let's go back and check here, because, I mean, we've been watching Harry Gant drive in circles for a while. This is actually a pretty interesting race right here. 5, 6, 7, and 8 on track. Pretty much right on top of each other. Dale Jarrett trying to piece out just a little bit. Bobby Allison, Terry Labonte, brother Bobby Labonte. All in tight there. So we'll watch this battle. Bobby just about clipped his brother there. Let's go back to single file. Brad Keselowski, still 13th, trying to battle with Ricky Rudd. Take it a little bit higher of a line, at least on entry. Be able to make it look here in a couple laps to number 2. And now that we are officially over the halfway point, I wonder when pit stops are coming. Are they coming? We don't know. I haven't run a test long enough to try and see. Is Keselowski around the outside of Rudd? That is the 12th position for the Blue Deuce. And he'll complete that pass. I don't know what the fuck just happened to Alan Kulwicki. My oh my. Back up to the front of the field, leader Harry Gant has caught Donnie Allison. And will officially try and put the number 1 a lap down. High line, and this is where this is going to get interesting for Gant. How's his car up there? Ever since he had to make that move up there, Rusty Wallace had gained a little bit of time. Gant and Donnie Allison running side by side. Gant is clear for the moment. Never really cut down, a little bit of a bobble, and now Rusty Wallace is within 5 seconds. Has officially cleared. And now Gant can set his sights on 19th place, Kurt Busch. Here on lap 62. So a chance for Gant to really just open it back up again. Got a little bit of a gap between himself and Kurt Busch. And it really just feels like Gant is going to have to pick these guys off one by one. But then, of course, we'll see that interval probably close up a little bit. And then, I mean, Rusty Wallace is going to have to go through the same things as well. So, but Gant might do a decent job of splitting that up, make it easier on Rusty. Last lap times have not fallen off as much as I would have expected, but the field is much more even on that now. Mid to late, 19-second laps for everybody in the field. Go check on the battle, if there is still a battle. Dale Jarrett holding 5th place. First car out of tomorrow's All-Star race. And Terry Labonte, Bobby Allison just did not get a great exit out of turn 2. Might have just been gotten by Bobby Labonte. Labonte to the outside. Should have a good run down the straight. Might have a change here at position number 7. And for the moment we do, Bobby Labonte around the outside. And that's going to open the door for Tim Richmond. As well as we also had a move for 5th place, Terry Labonte around Dale Jarrett. As, yes, we are indeed still, or rather now, starting to see laps dip into the 20-second range. Now, there probably are more 20-second laps than we really realize out there. You kind of got to have a bobble, get loose, do something to have something of that sort happen. Well, here again has made the move on Kurt Busch. 2 cars are a lap down here in this race. Kurt Busch and Donnie Allison at the back of the field. Here on lap 60, nice. We have too many Allisons. We have less Allisons than we have Rocks, so there's that. I can see how you would think that, though. If you don't watch NASCAR and can't familiarize with yourself with the numbers, then it probably is pretty tough to tell. Still cruising. We have under 30 laps to go. Brad Keselowski has made a move on Ricky Rudd for 11th place. Really one of the very few cars making his way through the field. The number 2. I miss the Blue Deuce. Miller Lite sponsorship, Miller sponsorship in general in NASCAR was around for so long. And the fact that we don't have it anymore just doesn't feel right. Keselowski into 11th, but certainly running out of time. Gonna need some bad pit strategies, some chaos, anything to have something going on. Yep, Coors gone now too. I mean, even Budweiser, like, for whatever reason, a Budweiser sponsorship just hits harder than Busch Light. I don't know. I've never really cared for either. Probably a Dale Jr. thing, at least for me. The lead for Harry Gant has just stayed right where it is. So, reminder for tomorrow that by this point in tomorrow's All-Star race, Stage 1 would already be over. That inversion would have occurred around about 10 laps ago. We didn't count caution laps. I haven't been in caution laps. Gant trying to lap down Joey Logano. Not yet. But the gap closing in. And Gant's still doing the smart thing. He's still taking that second lane really throughout the corner, pretty much waiting for the car on the bottom to mess up. But man, this pass here actually has really let Rusty Wallace back in, and even Harry Gant, I think, got a little loose there. 4 for the moment. Transferred to tomorrow's All-Star race with 24 laps to go. Harry Gant, Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. has made a move for second. What in the world happened to Rusty Wallace? 3.6 seconds back for the 78 right now. Anyway, to the point we were trying to make, Gant, Truex, Wallace, and Earnhardt. The gap has started to slow down, and now we can see the reason why. With 23 to go, Harry Gant has made his way around Joey Logano, officially putting 3 cars a lap down. Closest anybody has been in quite some time, but pit stops, more lap traffic problems for Harry Gant are going to happen to allow Truex to have a bit of a chance here. So this is really where we do need to be watching. Gant sets his sights on Darrell Waltrip, Alan Kulwicki right in front of him. Waltrip doesn't get loose, which he doesn't. Gant will stay behind for the moment. It really does look that, especially without pit stops, we're down to about 5 cars that are going to have a chance here in this thing. Bobby Labonte is 3 seconds, actually that's Terry Labonte in 5th place. 3 seconds-ish back of Dale Earnhardt Jr. with 19 laps to go. Wouldn't it be funny if the fuel run here at North Wilkesboro is around about 98 laps, as Evo said it. Pit stops there at the very end, and it turns into an economy run, and this field flips on its head. Gant to the outside of Darrell Waltrip, but won't be able to drop down because Alan Kulwicki is right in there. Gant has cleared Waltrip. Truex did not really gain that much time as Gant was trying to get that move done. Well, if you're Martin Truex Jr. and you hope to win this thing, it really doesn't matter. Whoa, Darrell Waltrip back to the inside on Gant there momentarily. Got loose on exit. You're really hoping for Alan Kulwicki to hold up handsome Harry Gant. Oh, like when the engines are backfire? Just a little bit. Used to it. Darrell Waltrip is still fighting. 17th place. A lap down. Still trying to inconvenience Harry Gant. Oh, okay. Yeah, that too. Yeah, there's not many engine failures anymore in modern NASCAR, is there? Laps to go. There have been no pit stops. Truex has closed that gap in a little bit. I'd imagine he has a tiny bit of pressure from Rusty Wallace here, as Rusty really got back into it after, I don't know what kind of mistake Wallace made, but he dropped almost a whole straightaway off of Truex when the pass for second was made. Say if Gant's going to be able to get around Kulwicki here, the race is as good as over. If And even with 11 to go, it still might be that way anyway. Darrell Waltrip is trying to give us a little bit of hope for a bit more of an exciting finish instead of Harry Gant leading about 98 laps and going flag to flag with this thing. Sending in a bit deep, trying to get to the outside. That was a mistake. Gant got loose. Saw it in the gap, about 0.2 of a second. Truex caught him, but then I think Truex did the same thing. Because, and we do have to mention, they haven't really caught the back of the pack yet. But they're getting close, because they're going to have to fight through this too. 9 laps to go, and while we were away, Harry Gant made his way around Alan Kulwicki. The Skull Bandit is out in front with clear sailing. It really will take a pit stop at the very last possible second for this race to get all that interesting. Seven laps to go in the open. That gap is stretched back out, just hit 4 seconds for Harry Gant. Rusty Wallace is certainly closed in. We might have a bit of a battle on our hands that we're going to want to pay attention to. With 6 laps to go here, and that is for the transfer spot, that 4th place. Dale Earnhardt Jr. with about a second lead over Terry Labonte. And again, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has featured in every single one of our NASCAR Chat Series races, looking to continue that trend into tomorrow, but he has to hold off Terry Labonte for 5 more laps, as, by the way, Brad Keselowski very quietly climbed up to 8th place. Four to go. I mean, Labonte is closing in ever so slightly, about a half a second back now. Might just have a real race for this final spot. Harry Gant now leads again by 5 seconds over Rusty Wallace, who made his way back around Dale Earnhardt Jr., or Martin Truex Jr. actually, and Terry Labonte is getting real close but running out of time. We have 2 laps to go in the All-Star Open. The number 5 is on a charge. I don't think he's close enough. Dale Earnhardt Jr., high entry into turn 3. Labonte, pretty much same line, and he's just running it better. How desperate will the 5 be? Final lap. Harry Gant's going to win this thing. Caution free. And also, pit stop free for the transfer spot. Dale Earnhardt Jr. over Terry Labonte. Although the number 5 put up a really good charge to just miss out there at the very end. Well, that was some fun stuff. Some fun stuff. Your unofficial results, they're official, let's be honest. Harry Gant, the winner of the All-Star Open, he advances to tomorrow. Rusty Wallace in the 27, Martin Truex Jr. in the 78, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. holds off Terry Labonte to also advance to tomorrow's race.